Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? Gonna come at you on a Monday night, late night update. This is a long overdue country music update. It's so long overdue that, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to split this into two parts. So this is part one of two of my country music update. Tons of vinyl to show here, so I'm gonna jump right in. This is just stuff that I have accumulated over the past handful of months. You haven't seen me in a while, and I did a video last week. I think Black Friday, Record Store Day video. But this is stuff that I've had accumulated, picked up pretty much all summer. So let's jump right in with this one right here. Shirt that I'm wearing, Tyler Childers. Tyler Childers. I say Childers. Chill like a nice cold beer. Anyway, Tyler Childers, Country Squire. This album is amazing. Look at the artwork. It's so trippy. If you're not familiar with Tyler, check out his stuff. Go stream his stuff. Uh, very Appalachian, bluegrass, yodely, high pitched, squawky vocal delivery, I guess you could say. But love it, absolutely love it. Tremendous songwriter. Here's the back. Show you real quick. And I was actually fortunate enough to score. I won't show all these, but I wanted to definitely show this one. Here is the inside. I've got the. I saved the shrink with the hype sticker. I just a nerd like that, but very cool artwork on the inside. Matter of fact, this is his backdrop for his tour that he is currently on. I think he might actually have that wrapped up yet right now. But here is a very cool indie record store exclusive on yellow splatter vinyl. These things are going for stupid money right now. So I was so glad I was able to to get that when it came out. The store actually had two of them, and looking back on it now, I wish I would have grabbed both of them, but ended up only grabbing the one, and should have probably grabbed the other, but didn't. No big deal. Anyway, glad to have that. Anyway, Tyler Childers, Country Squire, great stuff. Check it out. Moving right along. Like I said, I don't want to keep this going too long because we have a lot to get through. Sturgill Simpson, Sound of Fury. This took a while. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It took a while to actually sink in for me to get used to it. It's his experimental type. Those of you who are familiar with Sturgill and his music, he's country, but he does some experimental, trippy type psych. It's kind of like psychedelic country at times, but he can also be very straightforward country as well. This is far from that. Totally on the opposite end of the spectrum. I've heard it called country music meets Queens of the Stone Age, so that's kind of a good comparison. Anyway, some highlights on here. Ronan, Remember to Breathe. First two tracks on there. There's some really good stuff. Like I said, it took me 3 or 4 listens to actually kind of hear it. The first listen, I'm like, what in the hell is he doing? But like I said, after the third or fourth listen, it's actually really, really good. This is the indie record store Blood Red exclusive, and then also being the nerd that I am, I actually got a copy of the Vinyl Me Please. This is on, I believe, red and black, but it's red splatter, and it is hand numbered to 1,500 copies. They're actually stamped. This is number 863. So there you go. Sturgill Simpson, Sound of Fury. And then this one, really, really excited to finally have this available on vinyl. It came out a couple of months ago on CD, and they did not do. They actually delayed the the release on vinyl, simply because they probably couldn't get them back from the pressing plant in time. But anyway, Cody Jinks, The Wanting and After the Fire. It's 2 LPs, actually. It's a 3 LP set spanning 2 records that he actually put out in back-to-back weeks. So those of you who are familiar with Cody's stuff, I don't need to go into great links or great details. It was a fantastic album. So one Friday he came out with After the Fire, and then the following week he released a totally different album, The Wanting. Both albums are really, really good, and I had been putting off listening to these because I wanted to listen to them on vinyl. I didn't want to stream them. I know it's stupid and ridiculous, but I've been putting off waiting to get these, and amazing. So I had heard a lot of things from reading message boards and belonging to the Flockers, which is Cody Jinks' fan club, online fan club. A lot of people were kind of griping about the production value of this record, and I got to tell you, I think that both these records, the production value is head and shoulders above his last record, Lifers, which is a great record from a songwriting perspective and from a vocal delivery perspective. Cody does a great job on that end. I think the production was a little bit lacking on those, especially the drums. They just sounded a little bit hollow, but this is a solid release. Then Grail Time. There's a couple things. I need to send out a shout out to my buddy who is a vinyl community member. He doesn't make videos, but he watches all your guys' videos, and you've probably seen him active if you're on Facebook or Instagram like that. Anyway, shout out to my buddy Ernie Eldridge, who gave me a heads up on this next album. He's always sending me things, sending me stuff either through the mail, VCLT, which thank you always for that, guys, and especially Ernie. Thank you for being so thoughtful and gracious and sending stuff along the way. You don't have to do that, but I greatly appreciate it. But he's also really great about sending stuff through Facebook Messenger or text or whatever whenever he's in a store or wherever, and he sees something that he thinks I may be interested in. This was one of those that I really couldn't believe came across my feed. So this is the Alabama Band, number 3. Like I said, Grail alert. So those of you who know. Those of you who don't, you're about to find out. So this is the Alabama Band, or Alabama as we know them now. This is their first release, independent release from I want to say 70. It's not on here, but I want to say 78, 79. Anyway, not listed on here, but this is on Alabama Records. There's your catalog number, ALA 78, so 1978 more than likely. ALA 78901. As you can see, absolutely beautiful in the shrink, near mint all the way around. There's just nothing wrong with this record, and this thing is impossible to find. So I am so happy that Ernie gave me a heads up on this. He was actually in a shop up his way up northeast, and saw this, and I'm sure he would have liked to have picked it up, but actually said, "Hey, do you want this? Do you need it?" We worked out a deal on the phone. I think I paid for it over the phone, and they shipped it to me. Thank you again so much for this, Ernie. This is a treasured piece in the collection. Thank you so much. Another Grail, not nearly as high up the charts as that one, but definitely hard to find nonetheless. Billy Ray Cyrus. It Won't Be the Last. This was only pressed, I believe, in Spain and Brazil, I think. So this is from 1993, and this has In the Heart of a Woman. What else? Words by Heart, which was a great single. Those may have been the only two singles, but I've listened to this CD so much. Obviously, Talk Some, Somebody New, um, Words by Heart was a big one. It Won't Be the Last. But there were so many songs that I remember. But as far as radio singles, maybe in the Heart of a Woman was definitely huge. And I don't remember the other one, but In the Heart of a Woman was definitely a huge one. Anyway, there you go. Billy Ray Cyrus, It Won't Be the Last from 1993. Moving right along here. All right. Like I said, moving right along. Early Charlie Daniels. This is the Charlie Daniels Band, Way Down Yonder. So early stuff, if you remember in one of my previous country music updates, I picked up one or two other early Charlie Daniels things. And while this is, it's good, it's just not as good as the other two that I picked up, especially the other one. I can't remember Wolfman Tay and John. I think that's what it was. And then, of course, definitely not anywhere near stuff like, Fire on the Mountain or those records. But this is still good stuff. Charlie Daniels Band, great country, southern rock, good stuff. Sticking with the older stuff, this was kind of cool. It's a best of Jerry Lee Lewis featuring 39 and Holding. I still. And this is actually a white label promo. It's got the gold stamp on the back, but when I opened it up, I actually picked this up for $1 at a record store. When I opened it up, it had the white label on there. But I actually I'm going to stand firm by my comments that I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Jerry Lee Lewis wanted to be a country music singer and really focus on that and not his rock and roll and rockabilly and things like that, I firmly believe he would have went down as one of the greatest country artists ever. He's that good. His country stuff is brilliant. I really do love it. Check it out if you're just familiar with Jerry Lee Lewis, with his Great Balls of Fire and things like that. Definitely check out some of his country stuff. Amazing stuff. Some newer stuff here. Kacey Musgraves, Pageant Material. Kacey is one of those that I feel like I'm a little bit late to the party with Kacey. Last year, I believe I was turned on to her Golden Hour. Then I picked. So I actually went backwards. So I started out with Golden Hour, which I believe is her newest record, and then I picked up her first record, which was I think same. What was it? Same trailer, different park. I could be wrong there, but and then this is kind of in between, wedged in between there, and this is Pageant Material. Probably her best album, if you want to know the truth of it. At least my favorite album. Love it, absolutely great. Beautiful vocals, very airy, breathy, kind of along the Leanne Womack stylistically. So there is Kacey Musgraves. Was Pageant Material. And then one of my favorites, you guys that have watched any of my videos know I love Blackberry Smoke, and this is one that I just put off getting. I usually get their notifications on their website anytime they put out anything new, and this is one that I missed and just put off getting for a while. It's an EP, 6-song EP. This is the Southern Ground Sessions. And I believe this is on some sort of colored vinyl. I'm not going to take it out and show you, but take my word for it. I think it's pressed on some sort of like root beer colored vinyl or something like that. Then this was really, really cool that I finally was able to score a copy of the Steelwoods Straw in the Wind, their debut LP. Brilliant, awesome country rock. I like to call this Sabbath-influenced country rock. These guys are hard, heavy, trippy, but very country. The lyrics to the songs are just awesome. The stories they tell are great. So Better in the Fall, just a great song. The Well, Straw in the Wind, Uncle Lloyd. And then Wild and Blue, which is an old John Anderson cover. They do a tremendous rocked up, balls out cover of Wild and Blue, which is amazing. And then they actually do a Sabbath cover of Hole in the Sky. They do it pretty much tried and true to the Sabbath the Sabbath version. So you definitely got to check these guys out. So Jason Rowdy Cope is the guitar player in this band. And, of course, he played with Jamie Johnson for years when Jamie first started. But anyway, love Rowdy, love these guys. The Steelwoods, their debut LP, Straw in the Wind. This thing is getting impossible to find. Pick one up if you want to. Get it before it's too late. They're all gone. Then their follow-up, Old News. I like this, but I do not like it nearly as much as I like their debut. This is good. That is great. And then actually just got this in the mail. This is as you can tell by the label, plain old white jacket and the number up here. This is a test pressing of one of my absolute favorite all-time records, Randy Travis, Storms of Life. Was so glad to see this pop up on eBay. You guys have heard me talk about Randy Travis, what he and his music have meant to me over the years. And no, I don't know why I'm showing the back here. It's a test pressing. But was so glad to get this. This means a lot to me. Then I didn't really know how to categorize this one, so I threw it in the country. Like I said, I have a couple different country updates that I'm going to be doing. I've got a metal update. I've got just a basic vinyl update. I've got a Japanese update. I've got a lot of things that I'm going to be bombarding you guys. Your feed will be, you'll be tired of looking at this mug by the time it's all said and done. Anyway, Drew Holcomb in the Neighbors. This is Dragons. This came out a few months ago. And like I said, Drew, you can't really classify him as country. You can't classify him as rock. You can't classify him as alternative or Americana. He's just kind of all of the above. It's a really, really good album, well put together project. And I was actually turned on to this by my local record store and was glad he actually recommended this to me because I really did enjoy it. Let's see. Here's another one that I was late to the party. Shout out to Brian, Shamrockin' Records. Brian, hope everything's going well for you, buddy. Hope you're still around watching videos. But anyway, Brandy Carlisle, by the way, I forgive you. First time I had heard of Brandy, it was on one of Brian's videos, Shamrockin' Records. Brian always spoke so highly of Brandy, and as a matter of fact, we would talk back and forth on Facebook Messenger late at night sometimes, it seems, just passing video links to YouTube back and forth, and he sent me several links to Brandy, and just got busy. It got away from me, slipped my mind, and finally able to pick this one up over the summer and love it. Matter of fact, Brandon was over, Mr. Hall of Fame. He was over a few weeks back, and we had a listening party, and put this on, and he wasn't familiar. Fell in love with it, and I believe probably went home and ordered it right away. So you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, Brandon, but I'm pretty sure you did. So there you go. Brandy Carlisle, love it. By the way, I forgive you. Let's see, just a couple more here, guys. Trying to round out my Steve Earle collection. This is Steve Earle. Townes. This is his collection of Townes Van Zandt songs. This is, I was thinking this was signed, but no, the guy, the album that he did, tribute to Guy Clark, was actually a Barnes & Noble exclusive that was signed, like down here in the corner. Shout out to Steve, Harmless Rebel, for giving me a heads up on that. So I was able to order that. But this is this is Steve's Townes Van Zandt cover album. So some great songs, all the stuff you're familiar with from Townes, Poncho and Lefty, Colorado Girl, White Freightliner Blues, No Place to Fall, Loretta, The Rake, Delta Mama Blues, Marie, Don't Take It Too Bad, Mr. Mud and Mr. Gold, To Live Is to Fly, as well as a handful of others. But a really, really nice set. Steve does a tremendous job on a lot of that stuff. You know, Steve was very close to Guy Clark and Townes Van Zandt, and you can hear that come through in his music. Let's see here. Another one that was recommended to me by Colin, the owner of my favorite record store, Trusty Chords. This is Lily May. She's on Third Man Records. She is actually a Nashville recording artist and a fiddle player, but a great, great talent. She's classified as country, but very, very much out there. Check her out. Other Girls is the name of the album. I do want to show this one because it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of wax. Let's pull this out here. There we go. Nice. Yeah, it's not going to come through on video, but there are multicolor swirls in here. Very light, light colors. Love the color palette that they used on this one. I can't. Honestly, it's been a while since I listened to this, but I did really enjoy it. So I don't know how to really break it down. Like I said, it's not country, but it's not. It's hard to classify. Definitely check her out on YouTube or stream, however you guys get your music, where you sample your music. Check out Lily May. Like I said, on Third Man Records artist. And then you guys know I love me some 90s country, and when I heard Tracy Lawrence was coming out with a new album, Made in America, I picked it up. This came out earlier in the summer, and Tracy sounds amazing. Now this is an album full of pretty much, it's new material, but a lot of it is follows the patriotic theme, or you know, kind of the American theme, so to speak. But you know, very, very country, very good. His vocals are tremendous, outstanding, good stuff. If you love Tracy Lawrence or 90s country, go ahead and pick it up. Picked this one up when I was in DC for the National League Championship Series. The Nationals got the best of us. Congrats to the Nats for winning the World Series, their first one in franchise history. But I actually got to spend an extra day in DC. Thanks to the Nats sweeping us. And I spent those days visiting a couple record stores. And in one of those record stores, I found this Blaze Foley, The Dog Years. Not a very rare record, not a great record, but it's okay. This is The Dog Years 75 to 78. You see lots of different stuff on there. No frills, nothing fancy. It is what it is. It's nothing like some of his other stuff that I got, like, you know, Clay Pigeons or the other self-titled, I think, album, but it's still really good. And then last but not least, I want to send a shout out to my buddy. You know, earlier I sent out a shout out to Brian at Shamrockin' Records. I want to send a shout out to my buddy Jonathan, Cheap and Cheerful record collector. He had posted he had picked up a collection, and this was in it. It was one of the things that caught my eye. The Highwaymen 2, you know, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, and Waylon Jennings. This one is a, what year did this come out? 1990, so a little bit challenging to find and getting harder by the minute. So anyway, you can see very nice condition in the shrink, you know, near mint, excellent all the way around. Jonathan and I worked out a trade, and couldn't be happier. Thank you again for coming through on that, Jonathan, and allowing me to have this. I know you probably wanted to hang on to this for yourself, but you actually let it go, and I do greatly appreciate that. So, guys, there's my country music vinyl update, part 1 of 2. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get around to part 2. Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow, but I hope you guys enjoyed that update. I hope all of you guys are doing well, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.